government is giving you umbrella terms such as the Nordics, the Greys, the Reptilians, and the Insectoids. Let's get into some that they are not talking about, but they will here in the future. Because the government has had direct contact with a extraterrestrial interdimensional group called the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are often described as being one of the most heart-centered and spiritually advanced humanoid races that are connected to humanity itself. Many of us have had contact with the Pleiadians, and they are associated here with the Pleiades star cluster. It's in the Taurus constellation. It's also called the Seven Sisters. They have several different suns over there, not just one. In the sky, the Pleiades appears as a small cluster of bright blue stars, but in galactic and starseed teachings, this system is often connected to healing and higher consciousness and emotional intelligence and the evolution of humanity into fifth dimensional awareness. Pleiadians are often described as being very human looking, but they do not all look the same. This is a misdirection of communication here. So some are described as being tall, some are luminous, some are angelic looking, some have blonde hair, some have brown hair, black, auburn, red hair, some are lighter in their skin tone. They're not all just white races, by the way. We're not just going to whitewash this. Some are described as having golden or olive or bronze, tan, or darker complexion. Their eyes are often described as being a bright blue, a teal, a green. Sometimes they're silver, sometimes they are violet, sometimes they are hazel or gold or actually crystal-like. Many are said to be very tall, ranging from about 6 to 8 feet in height through different groups and dimensions. They may appear actually different depending on how they present themselves to the human. Yes, they can decide how they actually want you to physically see them. So their energy is often described as calming, loving, they have protective energy, and they just feel so deeply familiar, almost like family, but not in a forced way, but in a way that feels like the soul remembers them before the mind actually understands who they are. Pleiadians are strongly connected to their heart center. Their consciousness is often described as compassionate, emotionally intelligent, telepathic, deeply focused on healing, and they are not usually portrayed as being cold or mechanical at all. Those are misconceptions, again, with the Nordic civilization. Again, an umbrella term, not just a race. It is an umbrella term. The Pleiadians fall under that umbrella term because they are more connected to warmth and empathy. They're more connected to frequency and music and creativity and light and emotional restoration because they know the power that is driven behind that. So their abilities here often include telepathy, it includes direct consciousness communication, it includes emotional healing and dream contact, frequency work, DNA activation. They work on that. They work on your intuitive awakening, and they have this light-based technology. They also are aware of timelines and time existing on different levels, and then heart chakra activations. That's what they're known for. Many teachings describe the Pleiadians as fifth dimensional beings. That's where they're from, meaning they operate on a level of consciousness far beyond fear, far beyond any type of separation or control or survival-based thinking. Fifth dimensional consciousness is usually connected to unity and compassion. It is connected to telepathy. It is connected to emotional transparency and living from the heart instead of the ego, much like humans live off of their ego. They are trying to show us that there is a different way that we can go about evolving. And this is why the Pleiadians are often connected to humanity's spiritual awakening, because their role is not usually described as, again, domination or control. Their role is as guiders. They guide and they prep and they heal, and they help humanity remember who we are beyond the programming of fear and separation and limitation. And that's why you're hearing this information from me, who looks like the Pleiadians and is connected to the Pleiades star cluster. I also have telepathic communication specifically with this race. That's where I get a lot of these downloads from. So their spacecraft here, they're often described as being very luminous. They're smooth, they're frequency based, and actually they grow them. They grow their own spacecraft. So some appear again as glowing discs. They have rainbow colors. Sometimes there's blue and purple and pink lights that are associated with it. Their ships are usually like a silver white type of color. Again, it's more of a blue white plasma type craft. It is omnipresence. This light ship, it does seem to phase in and out with its visibility. It can do that, but many accounts describe their technology as consciousness operated, meaning that the ship is not controlled like a machine. It is indeed alive. It responds to your thought. It responds to your frequency, your intention, and consciousness of the beings inside of it. So if you are inside of the ship and you're connected to it, you can tell it exactly where to go, and that's literally how we travel throughout the cosmos. Some Pleiadian craft is actually described as being more crystalline. It's very organic looking when you see it. It's almost like a living technology, which is why I say it's omnipresent. So there's no harsh metals that are involved in there. There's no dark military structures with it, but it is smooth, it is radiant, it is an intelligent vessel itself that operates through light and sound and frequency. Pleiadian contact is described as being very subtle at first, okay? It may come through your dreams, much like the other interdimensional races. They work in the dream realm, the fourth dimensional realm, where you astral travel every time. They work with synchronicities, so numbers, angel numbers, music, anything that keeps popping up for your emotional awareness to like trap onto. But again, sudden emotional releases or seeing the Pleiades just keep repeating itself, or the number 144 or 444, because that's how far it is away it is, 444 light years away, or 440, whichever number you may pick. It is 444. So you may feel drawn to the stars. You may feel like you are homesick for a place that you just cannot explain, or you have this feeling of a deeper knowing that Earth is not the only place that your soul has known at all. Many starseeds are connected to the Pleiades star system. The majority of starseeds on Earth are connected to it, or the Syrian starseeds. It's either or. Pleiades or Sirian. Many starseeds are connected to the Pleiades because they describe feeling just highly sensitive, especially from childhood. They are more emotionally aware. They are more intuitive. We were born here without a veil. We're also very creative. We're drawn to healing, to beauty, to animals, to nature, to music, to energy work, or just helping humanity awaken. But Pleiadian energy is not weak at all. It may be soft, but it is very powerful. Compassionate, but it's not passive at all. So very loving energy comes from the Pleiadians, but it's deeply discerning because their strength comes from more of emotional mastery. It's from the unity consciousness itself and the ability to hold higher frequencies without being pulled into the fear. So they often are described as protectors of consciousness, not saviors, not beings here to do humanity's work for them, but guides here who are going to help activate what already exists within you. Because the Pleiadian message is not we are above you, it's more about you are becoming what you forgot you were. And their connection to humanity is often described as very ancient. Some teachings, again, connect them to Lemuria, to Atlantis. They are part of the Cedar race. Ancient healing temples, starseed lineages, and early Earth civilizations that worked with that crystal technology, the sound healing, and the higher dimensional communication. They're often also connected to the idea that humanity is going through this major shift. They represent the version of humanity that is healed enough to live from the heart without abandoning their own wisdom. And consciousness is not separate from evolution. And maybe that's why so many people feel connected to them, because somewhere deep within their soul, the Pleiadians do not feel foreign. They feel like memory. They feel like home. They feel like family. The real question is, are we ready to become the version of humanity that they have been preparing us to remember? Follow for more galactic guidance.